Knuckleheads coming back at you, man. Live on location, New York City's. You know what I'm saying? We got a friendly friend who back again with us. Part 2, a repeat offender.
Yes, sir.
Easy Money Sniper in the building, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
We came this way toward Brooklyn to holler at him. You know what I'm talking about? He talking all things next chapter, y'all. Let's holler.
Brooklyn, we go hard.
Yeah.
We always go with the famous question, who bust your ass? But this time around, since you've been here before, when you first got to the league, who was the first person ass you bust?
Who did you get a business to?
Who did you get a business to that you feeling it that night?
Oh, that next night, when I told you Melo cooked me that first night, that next night, Raja Bell, we played Phoenix. Raja Bell and Grant Hill got a nice, well, I think I had like 29, 27, one of those. Yeah, but they got it. Nice pump fakes, up and unders, shoot over top.
Going through all the arsenal.
Yeah. And Raja Bell was looked at as one of the best defenders at that time.
In the league.
I was excited I got to cook him a little bit.
He won the one.
Yeah.
Hey, I know what I wanted to talk about because you came out. Everybody know what happened in the finals. And you came out and was like, it was ludicrous to think that anybody forced you or anything like that. I just want to hear your viewpoint on how you approach the whole injury and what your mindset. Because I mean, obviously, it was a million opinions and thoughts about what you thought you were gonna do and the plan and what was your initial plan after learning what was going on with you. Because I remember I texted you that night right when it happened. We talked and you was like, I got to see what's up with it, you know what I'm saying? Because you weren't sure yet. So it was like from then I remember that like people were saying this. They started rumors that night and I remembered you saying when I said he not sure. You know what I'm saying? He going to get his shit checked out, see what's up. And so just, this is hindsight, how many months later everything is done. Like, how do you feel about how everything went down, and what is from your perspective, what was going on?
When I partially tore my calf muscle, a slight strain. It wasn't. That's exactly what it said on the MRI. Like, I was just.
So it was a partially calf, like.
Yeah, it was my calf had. When you got like a slight tear, it's not like a full tear in your calf, but it's just like, your muscle fibers pulled a little bit too far, you know what I'm saying? So it caused some irritation in my calf and up in my leg. So like, that was going to take 4 to 5 weeks to kind of get right back to where I was. So I was planning on playing in the finals when it happened. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? So like game 4, I was like, man, asking the trainer every day, you think we could play in this game? You think I'll be able to play in this game? He's like, yeah, maybe game 5 looking more realistic. So like, I just worked until then and, checked every box before the game, like did my whole routine, worked out, everything felt good. And then boom, in the game it happened. I'm just like, I can't really trip because like I went through all the steps that I had to go through and it just happened that way. So
and this is what we sacrifice.
Sometimes you gotta take it on the chin. Like you know what you're gonna get into when you playing ball. You might injure something. You know what I'm saying?
I was looking at you on your warm up before the game, and like you was looking good. You was dunking, you was moving around, spin moves, everything was looking.
I felt good. I felt good,
and I was so hyped.
I felt good.
Like I was like, Thanos is back.
That's how I felt.
And then when you came out and hit the job, I said, oh shit, Thanos is back.
I'm telling you, I was sitting there like, this boy about to go crazy. I said he about to go for. This is truly what I feel like. You was in such a zone that you forgot that you even had shit going on.
Yeah, it was.
Because it was like, I'm out here now. Nah. What you running up? I'm about to boogie and it was like I didn't forget to really kind of.
I would definitely say that.
That was what I felt like. I felt like you was already. I'm going into blackout mode, so
I was in it.
Like you was already there, and it was like at that point I don't know nothing. And it was like I'm just going into my shit.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
I was in it. I was really in. I really was like, all right, shit. I done came down here. My J feeling nice. I'm hitting bottom. straight bottom. Like
Oh,
I'm pulling
drop.
up on the break, and I'm actually playing slide my feet a little bit, so my shit feeling good. And then I tried to just, you know what I'm saying? I felt like I was back at the park.
I'm telling you.
Step back real hard, like, and then I was like, boom. I felt it immediately. It was like a pop, and I was like, nah. And I looked back, and I was like, fuck, I was on the sideline. And it felt like as I was walking like my right foot was on like a slanted, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like I was walking down the hill, it felt like, I was like, this shit ain't,
Weird.
this shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? My left, everything felt normal.
So
my
it
left,
felt slanted, but your foot was straight.
yeah, and it felt like I was walking on the walking down the hill. I was like, yo, this shit feel crazy. And then I was like, let me just regather myself. And like my whole career just went flashing in front of my eyes. I'm like, all right, what's next? You know what I'm saying? Once everything kind of cleared up and I understood what was going on, I was just like, all right, let me get surgery and let me just go sit up and chill until I'm ready to, you know, get on my feet. You know what I'm saying? So since then, since the game, I've just been on this grind.
Yeah. What was your reaction to see Clay get hurt in that game? Like that was like, it's like we was already devastated that you got hurt, and then it was like another knife to the heart.
Cause Looney was hurt.
Clay
He
go
had
through
like a
that.
broken like something up here. He came to back to play, and we was like all banged up. So it was just like, damn, like Looney got hurt on a freak play, and then you know I'm watching the game. I think I had just got surgery, maybe I don't remember. But I'm calling Bob Myers throughout the game. You know, we bouncing texts, and I see Clay go up. I'm like, yo, please don't tell me ain't nothing serious. But when Clay go in the back, I know it's serious because he don't never lead a court. Like
that whole situation
he not
was
like that
amazing that he was like out there walking around. No, Steve, I'm good. I'm good.
He not one of those walk back to the locker room dudes. Like he not doing that. Like his shit got to be off. You know what I'm saying? Like for him to do that. So when he walked back and he was limping, I'm like, he must really be hurt because he don't do that type of stuff. So, but then he came back and shoot the freebies. I'm like, this dude.
Like they was like, you gotta come take the free. He was like. Turn around, I'm like, yo.
And he one of them dudes like, yo, hit me with the cortisone. I still go out there. Like, he just love to play. He never want to take that moment for granted. And like to see him, because he an Iron Man to me. Like he don't get injured. Like he ain't never missed. He missed practice from just being oversleeping, but not for no injuries or none of that stuff. You know, no banged up. He would never miss games. So like, but it's gonna be good for him to finally relax for a year and get his mind right. Get his body right.
When that happened, I said it was written. I said they wasn't supposed to.
No,
I said I don't know the Cosmos, whatever
what
they wasn't supposed to. I say this has never ever happened to where your two superstar, all-star, max players, back-to-back games go down with like potential season-ending injuries for both of them.
Devastating.
In the playoff finals,
yeah.
like no,
that was the craziest thing.
Never happened. I was like, bruh,
that was the craziest thing, man. And like, we had a great opportunity, man. Like, fuck, three-peat. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It was crazy.
When it happened like that, literally the city, the team, the franchise, you just can't. It's not like we didn't, and then y'all still fought. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Still like, man, listen, please.
We had nothing to lose at that point. Everybody was just like, fuck.
It's like, what can you say when y'all both go? I was like, this is unheard of.
And it was crazy because that's the last game in Oracle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't realize it through all of the shit that was going on, from me being hurt to us losing the finals to Clay getting hurt, that it was the last game at Oracle, and that shit hit me after the game. I was like, damn, we had every player that had great memories in Oracle. You know what I'm saying? When you come to the Bay, you playing at Oracle. Yeah. So like, now that that's over with, it happened so fast and so much stuff was more important than that. It's just like, I hope that didn't get lost, you know what I'm saying, amongst the people in the organization, the fans, that Oracle was such a special place.
Word. Have you seen the new arena and stuff like that?
Crazy. That joint is nuts, man. Like they put a lot of work into that, just being there for the last 3 years. You've seen the process, and you know, from Joe Lake up and his team, and Peter Goober and Rick Wells, like those brilliant business minds. You know, they had a vision for that, and that shit came together perfect. That's the best one in the league. Do you see the locker room?
Yeah.
State of the art.
That's dope. It was good to see that, man.
Free agency. You chose Brooklyn out of the free agents that you went through. What you think about all the other teams that made a lot of moves that switched up their teams and so forth? What do you think about them?
I think the league going in the right direction as far as like a pivot. You know what I'm saying? I want to say like half the league was free agents last year. So not just the big name players. There was a lot of like role players that can switch a team too, that happen to sign and add on to, you know, some of these teams that got the bigger name stars. So that was the underrated part of free agency, was like the mid-tier players, the role players that's going to help the stars. So I feel like the whole league has changed and it's different now, so it should be fun.
It was a good shuffle.
A good shuffle. It was a much needed shuffle in the league.
Yeah. I feel like, you know, people have put, you know, their opinions of what their thoughts of why you made the moves you made. I just want to hear your reasonings in your own words. Like what made you choose Brooklyn and you know, what are you looking forward to with Brooklyn?
Well, just a basketball experience, you know, just a whole experience, and learn so much from just looking at my whole basketball life from high school to college. Learned so much in college, and, you know, obviously OKC and Golden State. It was just a part of my basketball journey to step into something new. So, you know, taking everything I learned along the way and pouring it into my new environment, my new teammates, new coaching staff, you know, we'll see what happens. But I'm excited about it. But I think I've learned so much up until this point that, you know, no matter where I play basketball, I'm going to continue to keep getting better.
Mm-hmm. What was your thoughts on, I mean, obviously you made your move, but just on how the entire landscape of the NBA shifted and changed, and how free agency was, like you said, the league booming.
Yeah.
The NBA, you know what I'm saying, you can't, you know, complain about much, especially as far as like the contracts being received and the money being handed out. Like right now, it's an all-time high. Like what is your thoughts on just, I mean, not so much about the money, but just look at the change of where players went, new destinations, new faces. It's a lot less of the, I guess, the big threes. Now you got more duos taking over everywhere. And
I think this was a time where, I mean, you had the best of the best as free agents, and majority of these guys have accomplished a lot in their careers and just wanted to choose a place where they can get everything from the living arrangements to coaches they wanted to players that they want on their teams to just everything. And I think, you know, it was only great for the league when you got the players putting themselves in positions to, you know, affect organizations like the Clippers, who haven't been put in a position like this before. You know what I'm saying? Like now the Nets, like now it's opening doors for like not just the Lakers, Knicks, you know, the Boston, best, but like Boston's the traditional teams. There's some teams that with a new brand, a new face, they're starting to get an opportunity to get some of these bigger name players. And, you know, you seeing owners building billion-dollar arenas to keep players there, you know. So it's adding more service to the league. So people trying to compete to keep their players now. So it's all like an arms race, but it's all fun. It's all good for the game. It's all pushing the game forward.
Yeah, it makes the anticipation for this season even more.
I think the fans in for a big treat as far as like the season. And if you're a fan, I think you have now more than ever, you have a real hope, like, man, maybe my team could get one of these guys, because before you didn't have much hope of that. Now it's like you see different teams, Utah signing guys and making deals for big guys and made big moves this year, and you know, different teams, you're not used to doing that.
They added such a cool element to a fan experience now, because like free agency now is almost like your team winning the championship. Like, so Clippers got PG and Kawhi, like they really had a parade.
That was a victory.
Like, that was a victory. And like when
absolutely,
even Utah when they got Mike Conley, and like that's a victory for that fan base.
And for the Clippers in particular, I mean, it's a you have to understand. We know from being there, for those fans, it's like, we got Kawhi. He chose us over the Lakers.
Exactly.
Like, that's a win.
They
like,
felt
he chose us.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that? Like 20 years ago, no one would ever fathom.
Think about the Clippers.
You feel me? Like, come on, man. We were there. Like, nobody. We had 3 maxes open. Nobody ain't talking about it. You hear me?
So, like, now it's like you getting now, like, all these organizations feel like, man, we just like one player away. You know what I'm saying? You never know why. You know, if this guy might be from Sacramento, he might want to come home. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got so many dudes from all around the country that may want to go back to their hometowns to play, and it's gonna open up so much for the league, and you know, it's gonna be an amazing year, I think.
35-7. Like, you know, we all know you for number 35. You made 35 famous.
Yeah.
But you chose number 7 in New York. Like, why was the change, and what made you do that?
I mean, it was something I was thinking about for a while, you know. 35 was a number that was kind of agreed upon, you know, my whole family. Like, you should wear this. This is a cool idea for you to wear that. And, you know, I carried that for a while, and it was time for me to kind of step outside of that and put that up in the rafters and my personal, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but to hang it up and just kind of step into a new realm, it's a new perspective of me, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it started with something subtle as a number, changing it, and you know, because it kind of got my vision on it, just solely my vision on it, you know. So it was just part of evolution.
And it wasn't 7. Why was number 7?
Man,
like,
just my mom's birthday is on the 7th.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the number 7 stands for, and you know, spirituality and just awakening, and so much went into it. You know what I'm saying? It's 777 is a lucky number. You know, there's just so much, you see it around so much, and my grandmother's birthday is on the 17th. You know, so so much went into it, and I wanted a single digit number, so it's cool.
Kyrie Irving, one of my favorite players, like, and you chose to come to Brooklyn with Kyrie Irving. Like, elaborate on him, like why you chose him and what you seen in him that you feel like you can go on this next journey with, to go to war with him.
I mean, playing with 2 great point guards, like, I like connecting with point guards since a kid. Like, my best friend on the team has been a point guard since I was 9 years old. You know, it's like, you know, running up and down the court, your point guard always looking for you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
smart.
My best friend was a point guard, but he didn't want to pass the ball.
Connected with the points, you know, that's always been my thing, because, you know, they're going to get you the rock.
I love point guard.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, just knowing so many point guards and just being cool with all of them in the league, you know, Dame is like one of my closest friends, you know what I'm saying? So just getting to see their mindset, and then being around Kyrie for a year, and then having so many people behind the scenes that we know, mutual friends, and his game is flawless to me. So like, it was an easy decision to be like, all right, go from Steph to Russell Westbrook to Steph Curry. Like, I'm blessed in my career to play with 3 point guards, and I haven't played with Kai yet, but looking forward to it. But 3 point guards that we work so well together, we set each other up, and it's like, that's how the game supposed to be played, with the wing and the point guard. So it's like, I always envisioned that for myself, playing with the best point guards in the league.
Yeah, I mean, my homeboy was talking about that. I was like, man, you play with 3 of the best point guards of this era. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, who gets the chance to play with that?
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's rare, man. I mean, it's just. And it worked perfectly, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody shined perfectly, you know? And hopefully it works that way. I know it will with me and Kai. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But, like, everybody got their game off and got better along the way.
Yeah.
I saw that Big DeAndre Jordan had a big part of you. You know, I saw that you and Kyrie took kind of like some haircuts to make sure that y'all could take care of him. Talk about his importance and his impact on you guys coming together, and why it was important for you guys to take the haircut so y'all could, you know what I'm saying, make sure he got situated and got straight too.
I mean, first off, DJ is a center that you need in a starting lineup. You know what I'm saying? All-star player above the rim, affects so much on the offensive side of the ball, rolling, rebounding. So, like, to have him on the team is only going to be good for us. But outside of that, that's our boy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Playing in the Olympics with him, you know, I think that's when we really formed a bond.
One of the funniest and coolest dudes. And anybody don't know,
to be
Big
around,
Dre, one of the fun. He's gonna make it a lot lighter in the locker room. I know that.
Always smiling.
Always smiling, got a good vibe. But as a competitor, wants to win. I think at this point in his career, like, he wants to help build something, and, you know, something that can eventually lead to a championship and something special. So, I mean, we got big visions, big dreams, and obviously it take a lot of work, but DJ is something, you know, he's seen the vision that we all had, and we wanted to see if we can make it work.
Yeah. You seen last year Dinwiddie and LeVert played good on their team last year. Like them two guys that have to step up.
Nice.
Not only do they got to step up this year without you, but they're going to have to step up too when you come back.
Yeah.
Like, speak on them two guys in general that's part of your arsenal to help.
I mean, it was great that they got the playoff experience last year, knowing what it's like to be in the series and be in tight games, and I think that's only going to help them. And I mean, you just got to let them progress. I mean, it's just natural for them. They're just natural basketball players. Like, it's not like I'm going to go in there and just, like, tell them what to do. Like, they know exactly how to play, you know, and I feel like they got the right approach to it. And, you know, they already know what the situation is. But, like, Taurean Prince, I think that's the one for us who's going to have to step up and, you know, continue to keep growing and keep getting better, because he got the skills, he got the mindset, he got the – he played with energy, like he got all the skills, and I think playing with a winning program now and a team that's got dreams of winning big, I think that's only going to help him.
Help him get better.
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all deep, man. I think it's gonna be huge with you being out with all those guys getting all that experience, from LeVert to Prince to Dinwiddie, Joe Harris, all those guys getting those key minutes.
Jared Allen.
So when he come in, it's like, now, when he get back, those guys have gotten that much better and gotten that much used to playing meaningful minutes and being in meaningful moments. So that's going to be good for y'all.
For sure.
A lot of players not built for New York basketball. Like, I feel like your game and the way you play, like, this is like the perfect place for you to take it by storm. Like, New York in general, the basketball culture and all that stuff. Like, how does it feel to to feel it in there? Because, you know, when you walk around the city, it's something in New York that you feel. Like, how is it to be in New York now and kind of?
It's different. I mean, when I walk out, I'm in a hotel right now, but when I walk out the hotel, I mean, there's people on the streets at all times of the day, and majority of these people watch basketball. So, like, everywhere I go, it's, what's up, man? Hope you get well, and can't wait to see you back, and congrats. So it's definitely been dope running to the fans here in New York. Of course, a lot of Knicks fans come up to me and wish that I would have went to the Knicks, but it's still just, you know, all love. And, you know, I feel like everybody in the city wants both teams to be at that level. You know what I'm saying? It's only going to be good for the whole city. So it's been cool, man. Nothing but great vibes.
That's the one thing that is definitely great about New York sports fans. Even if you're not their particular player, somebody like you with your, you know, at the level you are in your career, they have a higher level of respect for you and always want to show that love and appreciation. Like, yo, that's KD, son. Like, you know what I'm saying? They gonna run up and be hype, want to take pictures, and even though you didn't choose the Knicks, they still gonna get a lot of that.
Yeah, it's always love here. It's like respect here. It's like, you know, somebody see you across the street, they're not going to run across. They're just going to give you a head nod and let you know that they respect what you do, you know. And I think that's a cool part of the city. And, you know, obviously, it's just my first few weeks, who knows what's going to happen if we hit a skid and we lose 2 or 3 in a row. You never know how stuff goes in the, you know, the ups and downs of a season. But, you know, just the passion that they have, you know, everybody has here for sports, not just the Nets, but, you know, obviously the Nets is at the lower of the totem pole here in New York, but everybody just has love for sports in general.
In L.A., you know, you got the Lakers. Around here, you got the Knicks. With Kawhi and Paul George going to the Clippers, they trying to kind of change the narrative. Still, some of them L.A. fans, you being in Brooklyn. Yeah. You look forward to stealing some of them Knicks fans and bringing them on board over there in Brooklyn.
Man, it's going to be hard to do that. You know, this team, you know, Lakers, Knicks are just staples in our game, you know. So the love for those teams have gone like 40, 50, 60 years.
It's in their blood.
It's in their blood, and it's cross generations. So you're not expecting to, you know, convert Knicks fans. They just want to convert people that probably never watched basketball before, you know what I'm saying, to come in and see something new and enjoy your show, you know. So new basketball fans, I'm sure those are the ones that we're gonna try to turn into, you know, Nets fans.
How happy was you for Russell and James getting the opportunity to like play together again? I know when like what was your reaction when you actually seen that Russell was going to play with James?
It was definitely crazy, you know what I'm saying? Because like how that whole trade went about, you know, first off PG starting it off, you know, going to the Clippers. And then, like you said, when you was with the Clips, like you seen it from the beginning. Like I seen OKC from the beginning, and then and I never would expected anybody to leave. You know what I'm saying? And now to see all of us, gone, and now Russ and James on the same team, and like it's cool for them because they reunited and they gonna have some new energy and new life around the team. And as me sitting out and as a fan now, I could look at it from a fan perspective. Like I'm really excited to see how those two work because I don't know. It's like to be real, like if like different players, I probably can see how they can fit together. Like those two, I don't see exactly how it's gonna work yet, but I know it's gonna be like spectacular. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't understand it from a basketball standpoint right now. Yeah. But like I know they're gonna figure it out and work it out because those two are the most talented players in the league, like we ever seen in the league. You know what I'm saying?
Like Russ, did you feel like it was time for a new beginning for him?
Yeah, for sure.
He needs to kind of go somewhere. Not really reinvent himself, but just go somewhere and just kind of feel like a start over for him.
Yeah,
with all the pressure in OKC.
Yeah, I mean, it's my third team, so I'm all for like restarts and like kind of just a pivot in your career. Not even a pivot, but just like a new, fresh look. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like for him, like going into a different city, after playing somewhere for so long and just a whole new organization, new feel. I know it's gonna be different for him. I know it's gonna be just a totally different organization from what it was with the Thunder. Like, just how they operate is just different. You know what I'm saying? Different GM, different philosophies on how they play. You know what I'm saying? So this whole NBA experience is like it's like Harvard. We're supposed to learn everything and every small part about each organization we come across, whether it's through a meeting or if we get traded there. Like, so I feel like he only gonna learn from this experience.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite players to watch, even still. And I'm happy he got a chance to get out of that scenario because I don't know how he would have did.
Yeah,
being in that rebuilding scenario while they getting kicked around every year. And you know how competitive and how hard and how much he pours in the game. I didn't want to see him have to go through that type of losing
He's
scenario.
too experienced in the league.
He deserves the opportunity to stay competitive.
Any all-star player like that who's been an all-star for 8-9 years, like obviously they'll be great for that young team, but like they deserve to, like their timelines is different. So I just felt like he needed to be around veteran players, and he made the right choice.
I have a high level of respect for the Thunder and everybody over there for doing it that way, for respecting him and not not making him kind of, so to speak, have an ugly exit. They kind of granted him a graceful exit, not him forcing his way out. He seems like to the fans he'll always be beloved. He never bailed on them or whatever. No. And even it came to the point where he should go now because he deserves a chance to compete. So I was glad he got to go out like that. Everybody doesn't get that opportunity in those situations.
Especially when I left there and he had to basically patch everything up for that year until they got PG. So like,
and he strapped up.
He strapped up and did his thing.
That's why you gotta respect.
And I think everybody there, he always be immortalized there. Like, you don't have a statue there. He gonna have streets named after
straight
him.
up.
You know what I'm saying? And forget all this other stuff. To look out from the outside looking in is just like a human being to see somebody come up from not even recruited to that. Like that's a come up right there.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like he stamped, you know what I'm saying, in a legit NBA city. Like that's dope to me as one of the first ones. Like not a lot of people got that opportunity.
For real.
NBA, like they have right now in this time, guys can kind of control the narrative. They can kind of switch up their career instead of letting like teams kind of control or send you here, there, everywhere. NFL, you're starting to see a lot of guys like yelling out, "I want to trade," which it's not really like that in the NFL or so forth. In the NFL, do you think that's good for their game? Because I know I was seeing Steve Young on the countdown, and he was saying this is not our game, and we don't. This is not the NBA, and I was like, man, but if I don't want to play here, like, why is you making me play here? I want to play football, but I might not want to play here no more.
The game is played on the field. Like these dudes come to work every day. Like football players, I admire them so much because the level of focus they got to have every day, every play, every rep. Like people don't have that much stamina.
Crashing your body.
Yeah, while crashing your body. Like they don't have that much stamina to think like that mentally and to play like that physically. So like, these dudes, they do so much for this game, for these owners. Like, at least let them have a little something. If Jalen Ramsey want to go to another team, like, what's the big deal about it? Like, I don't see it hurting the league at all. It's like people get traded and cut, and we don't hear nothing about it the next day. But the best player at his position want to go to another team, like, I don't see the problem with it, Steve Young. Like, who cares?
I didn't like that he said, like, oh, what is this becoming the NBA? Like, what did you – that was, like, said in a negative way. Like, people, them NFL players wish they had the, you know, the security that the NBA players had with the contracts and all of that.
There's too much focus on what goes on at the negotiating table, and less focus. It should be more focused on what these dudes do on the field. Obviously, that sells, you know, and we get it. But, like, you know, there's a lot of division within, like, players, ownership, just everything. I feel like, you know, down with Jay-Z partnering with the NFL, I thought that's going to do nothing but good for, you know, any division that we have within, you know, the community, the black community especially in the NFL. So, I mean,
I feel like people need to be patient.
Yeah, for sure.
See what's going on, because I feel like as soon as it happened, there was a lot of rush to judgment before any type of action was. Now, if nothing don't happen for a while and it's like, what's going on, then you can start to have your murmurs or something. But, like, don't jump on something before it even do anything.
Yeah, I mean, Jay-Z has done nothing but great for anybody that he's touched. You know, he's affected so many lives. So, you know, if whatever he said he's going to do, I believe he's going to do, you know. So I think, like you said, everybody should just be patient. And whatever they're expecting out of it, I mean, I was never expecting too much. You know, I'm sure having Jay-Z as a partner is going to be cool. But, like, everybody should just be patient and let's see how it work out.
I want to know somebody who in the league, like you in the situation this year where you're going to have to rehab and sit out and be watching and be a spectator. So for you, who is somebody that the average fan or maybe even us, we wouldn't expect to, like, KD love watching this dude play? Like, who you, whether it's they work, the way they hoop, whatever it may be, something that you just like about them that the world, like, everybody love LeBron, everybody love Dame, or, you know what I'm saying? It's the obvious people we know, but who's somebody that's under the radar that we may not know about and what you see and what you like about it?
I mean, Lou Will's probably the number one guy. I feel like
Underground King.
I feel like he's a Hall of Famer.
Underground King.
Yeah, I feel like he's one of those guys that is a culture changer as far as, like, setting the lane for players, you know, being that undersized 6'2", 6'3", not a point guard, not a two guard, but just a player, you know. He put a lane, opened the lane for a lot of players. Obviously, I still love watching Jamal Crawford.
And the two boys, they might have to, I don't know who they going to name the six-man trophy after. Both of them, one or the other, split it.
Exactly. I feel like Jamal still could win the Sixth Man of the Year award today. It's unfortunate that he's not on a team right now, but, like,
fix it, NBA.
Yeah, somebody need
to fix that. Ready right now. Ready
he
to
had 50.
Bop
he had 50
last
year.
Last game.
Come on, he had 50 points at that age. Like, he's phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the real hoopers like that don't really have a position, don't really, like, you know, they not going to wow you on a stat sheet, but they going to get a bucket. You going to know they out there. You know, I like a lot of bigs that just play strong and hard, too. I mean, I like Andre Drummond when he on the boards. You know what I'm saying? He's dominant on the boards.
When I worked for the Pistons, I would tell him, I can tell when you hooping and when you BSing.
Me too,
like if it's like the first 6-7 minutes, if you ain't got 7-8 rebounds, you BSing. I used to tell him that on the day. Like, I want to see you get 20 or 30 rebounds. I want to see it.
He got a skill for that. Like, he up
special.
there. Yeah,
he's
special.
All-time great. Like, I don't
special.
care what else he does. He will be an all-time great rebounder.
He's special.
When he get one. He has a knack.
I think he can get 20 a game if he put his mind to it. That's tough to say. I mean, because they playing such a spread game over there in Detroit, but, like, he's special on the boards. I like watching him and playing against him. Like, you don't realize how strong he is. Like, he one of the strongest in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like Andre a lot. I think once he gets he get a great point guard that, like, it's just a great system. You know, I think with D Rose this year, they're gonna toss that lob up to him. Like, D Rose know exactly how to play. You know what I'm saying? Get some vets around him. I really like Andre Drummond. He's fun to watch.
One of the most athletic big guys that there's ever been. Like, he never gets hurt, and he's like,
he's a workhorse. I like him. I mean, so many guys. You know, Trevor Ariza.
Cuddy Cuz.
You know what I'm saying? Just
Cuddy Cuz.
dudes that play their role really.
He's solid.
Solid and know exactly what they're
yeah.
gonna do out there. Trevor going lock in, he gonna knock down a three. Now he playing off the pick and roll even more. Like he got better at year 15, 16. That's like that's you know what I mean? He playing a different game at this age. I like seeing players like that.
Who is like say first year, second year, third year player? Like who is like a young guy in the league that you've seen play over these last couple of years that you be like, oh, he gonna be something as he steady continue to get better?
De'Aaron Fox, I think he gonna be a stud, like a star in the league, like a perennial all-star. Once their team gets better,
I like that.
And his speed is something you can't teach. Like it's in a mold of like D Rose, Russell Westbrook.
Yeah,
you know, I think he gonna be a star. I really think Lonzo can be pretty good too.
You like Lonzo?
I like Lonzo a lot. I think I held him to such a high standard when he got into the league. I had to realize what he was as a player. Like he just would do everything. Like you don't notice he out there, but until you make a flashy pass. But outside of that, he gonna just play solid, play defense, make the right plays, never complain, like never argue to the ref, never distract you. Like I like what he is as a player.
I feel like him. He's one of them players that any given night, that's what he gonna give you. If you need the assist, he gonna get you the assist. If you need the points from him, he gonna get you the points. You need him to play defense, or I feel like he all around like that. He's not no one thing, and I feel like that with that, you can shy away from his value, but it's like he's valuable because he can bring whatever that team need that night.
I think his value, a lot of people put stock in what his father said coming into the league, the hype that his father put on him. Like a lot of people held him up to that standard.
They first of all, I feel like it was unfair in the sense that prior to his dad doing whatever he did, you had like the general fan or whoever began to feel one way or the other about him. They never had a reason to dislike Lonzo. And throughout, he never gave you a reason to dislike Lonzo. Only dislike that you could possibly have for Lonzo was because of what LeVar was doing. Like, I don't see, and you were his teammate. Steph ain't the type of person that's like, I'm about to bust this kid's ass. But when you hear somebody tell the world this kid who ain't never played in the
Steph
league
like
is
that.
better than him, oh, no, I'm about to bust his ass now.
Steph like that.
Well, even if he wasn't.
He don't say it, he might be like, he might. You know what I'm saying? He gonna give you one of those, but he feeling that. He thinking that up
and
here.
you should. All of
when
us.
he seen
Like,
Lonzo, he was like, like I heard what your pops was saying. He ain't say that, but me and this knowing, I'm like, Steph
but that's what I'm
was,
saying.
you know
Like,
what
that's
I'm saying?
unfair.
So that put a
to
target
me.
on his back. And when I seen
That's
you
unfair,
can't put him
bro.
in the first game against Pat Bev. Like,
Oh my God! What I told you, I say, yo, if anybody, that was the perfect worst first game ever.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Like, this guy here is the guy. Like, come on, dog.
Yeah.
Pat Bev, who don't care. Like, it was. I said, I said, yo, and he was talking before the game. Oh, you think he about to show out tonight? Nah.
I think Lonzo ready for that bump though. Right
Nah,
now.
he
ready for
nice,
that.
bro. He for real,
He ready for
6'5"
that.
plus. Like,
And he locking in on D, like he picking you up full court.
Bruh, listen.
He making the right plays. Like I at first the way he shot the ball, he wasn't shooting it well. I was like, come on now.
Forget about any of that. Just think about what I'm about to say. Forget his form, fluky, all that.
Yeah.
All that was there. If you take away what his dad had put out there, the man averaged 12, 7, and 7?
Yeah, nobody.
Bruh, ain't nobody doing that.
Nah.
It was the ball was set too high.
Ball was set too high.
That was unbelievable for a rookie point guard. That's like one of the hardest positions to come in the league and get put right in the fire. On the Lakers with all of this stuff, man, averaged like 12, 7, bro. 7 and 7?
That
7 and 7? Bro, that's tough, bro.
That's tough.
Okay,
He didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but I was just like, I had to stop. Really, I just had to stop listening to everybody else. I'm like, let me just sit here and analyze this dude game. I'm like, oh, he's a problem because he's subtle with it. Like he'll take you out all your action from just like playing hard as shit. You know what I'm saying? Dudes don't do that no more. You know, he'll pick you up and get in the passing lane, and then he'll just turn the whole game. I like him.
Last year in the playoffs, like as basketball players, like we understood where like you was coming from of like playing within the game plan. Like a lot of when you was playing against the Clippers and you weren't taking as many shots as possible, but you was playing within y'all game plan and make sure you was hitting the open guy. You wasn't just forcing a lot of shots over two people. One of my favorite quotes from last year is that you said when you said like, you don't know who I am? Like, I'm Kevin Durant. But explain to me that game though.
The next game or the game before? The one when because we had lost that game.
No, the game that's in L.A. that you went
after
three.
When you
game
went.
3. Yeah, because after that game too, like we had been playing a certain way where everybody was touching the rock. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I wasn't getting 20 shots. I was getting more like 14 to 17 shots a night for like the last month and a half of the season. So I went into approached the game that same way in the playoffs. In game 2, like we were up 30 points. We should have won that game, but they came back and beat us. And like the way I was playing, like I only took like 8 shots, and I could have forced it a little bit more, but I just wanted us to keep playing the same way because we were up. Our defense is the reason why we lost. So like all that shit came out. Everybody wanted to talk to me about Patrick Beverly, and I'm just like, are you serious? Like,
point guard.
I like Pat Bev, but he just
can't go at you at all.
Yeah, he's just too small. Like it's something that we can't control. Like you can't control being 7 inches shorter than me. So like, you know, I can score on this dude whenever. Like, but we lost the game, and when you lose a playoff game, then everybody just turned up a little bit more. And coach was calling more plays for me. He kept me out there longer. I was playing, 16, 17 straight minutes. And, like, when majority of the starters were on the bench, I was the only starter on the floor. So, I got the ball every play. And, I just went from there. And, like, I was at the peak of my powers. Like, I felt like the only thing I was looking at was the rim.
That boy said I was at the peak of my powers.
Yeah, you feel that, man. It was like the goal got big.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about nothing but just dominating every time I got the ball. Like just not just scoring, but just like being try to be as perfect as I can with all
doing
my
everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Making the right decisions.
Yeah.
Like,
that took me back though. That game took me back to when we had the last time we came out to the Bay and we chilled, which when you was talking about how like I'm really trying to, be efficient at this. I was like, bruh, remember what we were looking at? I said, bruh, he just look how he playing. He ain't fucking around with the game right now. He turning on him, getting to his spot. Like, he's still trying to do the same shit. He's just not going.
He was making moves before they can even decide to double
the decision
team or
was
not.
made. Like, this is what I'm about to do this.
I mean, you had to make a decision on our team. Like, you couldn't, like our guys were moving so much on the backside, so if I got on the post, you couldn't be staring at me. You had to also always be in the Clay and Steph body because they move so well off the ball. So I'm just waiting on you to just a split second. If you off their body for a split second and I throw it to them, they shooting. So I'm just waiting, baiting guys. Like I just really was having fun with the game because like they couldn't stop me, and I could make every pass in the book. You know what I'm saying? So like our offense was clicking.
But like I say, with your, like. We know that you was following the game plan, and you know most of the times when guys do have big games, they go a lot outside of the plays, or But what be frustrating me sometimes with like commentators, or well, not really commentators, but reporters.
Yeah,
it's like y'all cover this game and y'all do this game so much, so when we kind of say like, no, I just played within the flow of the offense. They act like they ain't understanding in basketball terms what the fuck we talking about.
We so talented and skilled to outside world. They don't feel like our game has any structure. So they don't believe we run plays. They don't believe we come down and get into a set. Yeah. Like we run a set. We go over our plays every day. Like we might improvise more so than any other sport. Yeah. But majority of that is based off of something. Like we coming down, getting into a pick and roll. Like we got a couple options out of it. But your best players can improvise. Like. And that's what we did. Steph improvised, Clay, myself, like Draymond. But we had a set template of how we wanted to play. And that's what we all tried to abide by. Especially once we got Cuz, we really felt like, we got a center now that we could throw the ball to in the post. So we had added another dimension to the team that we had to give up some stuff to other players. Like Steph had to take less shots. I had to. Clay, Draymond had to have less opportunities to get Cuz involved. So That's the part of the offense I'm talking about.
Let me ask you this. I asked Kobe this, and you played against it. Like, you played against Kobe and them in the year they won the championship in the back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
They had Phil as a coach.
Yeah.
And you know that they run one play.
Yeah.
So with them running, like, I know you going into that series, you like, man, they run one play. Like, we should be able to stop this, get past this. Like, what do you think about that triangle offense and that one play of how this couldn't be the options from it?
It got so many options. Like it all derives from like the post and the mid post. So like when they was throwing the ball into Andrew Bynum, like the little stuff that we was doing to take centers out of their actions, we couldn't do. Like we couldn't front Andrew Bynum because
corner man.
Yeah, there's no backside help. So like you had to stay behind him when they got a guy in the corner and a guy in the wing. So like our big had to play behind Andrew Bynum. Like, you can't guard him. He too big. He turn around.
And even though it was, like you said, it was one play, you know how we got it scouted. It was like 40 plays.
Yeah,
they put them up there. All right, this is this wrinkle out of it, and it was called this or called that, and it was, you know.
And then when Lamar Odom came into the game, you got to watch the lob. He throwing up to the elbow. He throwing up to the wing, and he running hard as shit off the other elbow for the lob. Like, they had so many trick plays and sets, and Kobe was just a master. He was just like an orchestrator of that shit. Like he coming off and he dropping it down, and I might pass this time, but I'm gonna pull up the next time. Like Phil Jackson made sure that offense was a pressure release. You could not over deny. You couldn't like get into the passing lanes. You couldn't like double team. You had to play straight up, and you had to play inside the 3-point line. And one that smoke, Mike was posting up. And you couldn't front him, you're going to have to take that. Kobe, you can't, like, deny, do none of that extra shit. You can't do all that extra shit. You got to play straight up. And that's what Phil Jackson understood. Like, you get the best players that play around the basket, and you got the triangle, you're going to win.
Takes winning.
That's a smart-ass system, man.
Smart fucking system.
So smart.
Like, you deny one person, another person cut. It was like, shit was like Princeton's. Princeton offense. They like, backdooring yours and all that shit.
And then on the other end, they got a strategy for defense too. Like they funneling you to the bigs when Kobe had Powell and Bynum. Yeah. But when he was with the Bulls, like Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen was roaming, and they was going to steal everything. Like you couldn't turn your back on them because Mike and Scottie was swiping hard every time and they out. Like they had strategies on both sides, and like Steve Kerr had the same thing, like strategy on both sides, like how we want to play on both sides. You know what I'm saying? And like you could tell he got that from Phil, Pop, like, and that's what great coaches have. They bring both of that. They bring both sides together and have strategies for that shit. Like not no roll the balls out and play. Like we gonna figure this out.
I want to call a couple of names out there because you're a big NBA historian, and call a couple of names out there and you just kind of tell us like what you used to love about that person, game.
Yeah.
And like what you thought he brought to the table.
Yeah.
Scottie Pippen.
His versatility, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that can get off the glass, push, make plays in transition. But in that triangle, he was making plays from the mid post, taking dudes off the dribble, throwing dimes. Like he did everything for him, and he kind of was the glue for that team. And you know, and then physically, like to be that strong with those long arms and good hands, like he was a nightmare on defense.
T-Mac.
Yeah, his hezzy jump shot, I literally worked on that every day, and for like still to this day, like just because I seen him do it.
Big dog Glenn Robinson.
He was just a natural scorer. Somebody that got like, it's some players that you seen some players in the league that like you don't know how they get buckets, but they just score. You know what I'm saying? Like he was one of those dudes. Like he didn't have a for sure go-to move, or he wasn't giving you all this extra stuff, but he was just flat out getting buckets. Like
first person that dunked on me in the league, and it was his fault. He
pushed me. Push you into the
push me into a lob.
You know, when you push a person and you playing defense, that means he's not playing defense.
Yeah, that means
like
he's not
you pushing
in position.
Them to man, get on over there. Like you scared.
Supposed to be my brother, and he got my ass dunked on. My first ever dunk on ever in the NBA. Big dog Glenn Robinson.
Averaged 30 in college. He was tough.
Big Dog was serious.
Purdue, you know, I got he right there next door to Illinois. Indiana,
he was doing
I
numbers
got
up
to see
there.
all that. Held out as a rookie, said pay me, then came in and gave everybody the
He averaged 20 that first year?
What? He was rookie of the year. Wet everybody up.
Big Dog fucked up the money though. I'm talking about he came out and asked for 100. Damn. I said, damn, dog.
100.
That boy came out and asked for 100. I
Got
said,
bagged up,
damn.
though.
I think he got like 70 or
He
something.
got a
like
bag,
that.
though.
He got like 70 though.
5-year deal.
That's why they put that thing in after
Yeah.
him. They said, nah, hold on. We
And
can't
he coming
have
out.
these young boy doing what he just
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
And then he showed up, so it solidified it like,
Yeah.
nah, he was worth it. So they
Yeah.
knew somebody else was going to
Somebody else coming after that. That's when KG. Did KG come after that? He
Soon.
Yeah, I think KG
He
came out
negotiated
there.
the
was
deal,
part
right?
of that. J.O. had to, he didn't get the little rookie skill. J.O. came out with a bag. Like, that's why when I be messing with him, like, man, y'all too rich, bro. Y'all boys was before
Came
any
out.
of the scales and
5
everything
years,
was
he
going on.
getting 8.
You the number 2
100.
pick. You asked for the 100.
Okay, let me get it. If I seen somebody before me getting that, come on,
You
man.
feel me?
Let me get that off top.
What you thought about the USA team?
Man, I just thought they were a young group. Like, I wasn't expecting them to go over
Yeah.
there and dominate. Like, I was expecting them to win, but
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting them to, go just dominate these teams that have been playing together for so long.
Yeah.
That's smart, experience, know how to play in that overseas game because it's like you can sit in the paint. You know what I'm saying? It's a trapezoid. No, it's not a trapezoid lane no more, but like the court smaller, 3-point line closer. Like, you got to play a half-court game. It's just a different game, and those players were young. So I feel like, they went over there and learned a lot and
Do you feel like
qualified us.
Do you feel like the world is getting better?
Nah.
You
If
don't
we had
feel
our
like
best players, we'd have easily won that tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we'd have had –
That's what I said. They
We
talking
had-
all
yeah,
that
we-
stuff about it's
yeah.
gonna be a time
No
where
way.
the USA ain't gonna win. Like, I don't see it. Not with binoculars, not with
No way.
not with a telescope. I don't see it.
Now when you got –
we send all A squad. It ain't even close.
now when you got dudes from the United States playing ball to put food on the table, he's hungry. These youngins hungry out here. Like, it ain't happening. Like, we got the most athletic and the most talented and skilled players, and we got one of the best coaches in all the sports, in Popovich.
Yeah.
So we should be straight.
Who's your favorite NBA team of all time?
That's a good question.
Your favorite NBA team of all time? And can you name their starting 5?
I mean, it's 2017 Warrior team.
That was your favorite?
I mean, that was one of the crispiest basketball teams I've
Yes, it
seen.
was.
That was just flawless basketball, in my opinion. Was it 01 Lakers? When
2000 to 2002.
they swept the
2000,
Nets.
2001, 2002.
That was 2000.
The one they swept the
2001.
Nets. That was
That was the first year.
Yeah.
First year. 2000, 2001.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite teams too. And Steve Nash first MVP team. That's when they started running. Yeah, that mob was nice.
Nah, he like the one that you got.
He's the first
traded.
the first team.
No,
That was my
second
team.
year he won MVP. Not the,
You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that. You
Yes,
know what I'm
sir.
saying? The original team, the Fun and Guns sons, 0405.
Can you name the starting lineup for that 2000, 2001 team for the Lakers?
At the point, Fish, Cole. I want to say, was it Devin George at the 3?
Rick Fox.
Rick Fox at the 3?
Rick Fox was at the 3.
Man, that was Devin George. Who was at the 4?
They had Horace Grant at the 4.
He started at the 4 on that?
Yeah, Horace Grant started at the 4, and there was Shaq at the 5.
Yeah,
Right?
obviously, yeah.
When did they start lineup?
No,
Was Horace Grant?
Horace was on their team.
not that year. He didn't get a ring with them.
Yes, he did.
With that Laker team?
Yeah.
He got one. I think
He
when they
got a
played
ring with
Philly,
the
but
Lakers
not.
team.
I don't,
Was Robert Ory the starter?
No.
Who was the starter at the 4?
Wasn't it Eldon Campbell?
hell no, that was way
No,
before.
hell no, man.
They might have went small.
That was
I don't
Horace
remember.
Grant. I'm telling y'all, man. Number 54.
Horace Grant was on that team. Yeah. That's when they beat Portland.
Fact check you. I don't know about that.
Hey, Google it. It's Googleable.
Yeah.
Googleable. Shout out Diego.
What is your favorite moments? Like either something you came up I mean, or something when you came up that you remember? What was your favorite, like, one of your favorite NBA moments?
Making it to the finals, 2012. That game was, after that game, that was one of the best moments. Obviously, winning 2017, that took me on another level. I was on a different high after that. Getting drafted, that just changed my life in a matter of seconds. You know what I'm saying? My whole thought process. Yeah, my whole thought process.
What about
changed.
like just NBA history moments? Not specifically
outside of mine, man, when I would say when Kobe won his the back-to-back year, we had played them that year. I think we played them in the first round, and so to see them go through the playoffs.
Yeah.
That was a memorable moment because it's my first playoffs, and then losing to the champs. That was pretty, that was pretty cool as a young player. But to see Kobe though, like, you know what I'm saying, get that Shaq. People saying couldn't win without Shaq and all that other stuff. You could tell that he felt. You could tell he felt liberated after that one.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, like he was done proving himself, but. Then the Vince Carter dunk contest, that shit was.
Yeah, that was
when it was in Oakland.
We had a game that day in high school. Had a game, and after the game we instantly went over one of the homeboy house, and I seen that dunk contest. It was like one of the most amazing dunk contests.
It was a good crew though. It wasn't just Vince.
Steve Francis,
T-Mac. Was Larry Hughes in that one?
I don't know. I don't.
Think it was somebody like
Boog might have been.
Yeah, I think Larry Hughes might have been in that. Might have been in that one. I don't know, but
it was just overall, like you said, it was
just
stupid.
A good crew. Yeah, that one right. Yeah, that changed how I looked at all of this shit too. Because to see somebody throw between their legs for the first time, and put their arm in the rim, that was different.
This a good one. Start bench cut. Steph, Russ, and Kyrie.
God damn! I gotta play this game. Nah, yo, I don't know. That's who you going with? Damn, that's tough. Y'all put me on the spot like that. I can't cut either one of them dudes. Nah, yo, I'm gonna pass on that one. Yo, I don't want no smoke with nobody. Yo. I don't want no smoke. Yo.
That was a smart.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta start Kyrie.
I don't want no smoke.
From your draft, if you had to pick two other guys to play 3-on-3 with, who was the other two guys from your draft that you'll pick to play 3-on-3 with?
Margasol. He was in that draft.
You was second round, huh?
Yep, late second round.
Crazy.
And Conley. Mike Conley.
Ooh.
Conley was the fourth pick that year.
Grit and grind.
Conley.
Yep.
I think that's a good spot for him in Utah. I think him and Donovan going.
They've been looking for that point guard for a while.
Yeah.
Since D. Will left, they've been looking for that type of point guard.
Yeah, they definitely have. D. Will was
Utah.
Crazy out there.
That's a culture right there. That Utah gonna always they always play that like that. Like tough, hard as shit. They gonna move the ball, play pick and roll heavy. They gonna always keep two bigs on the court.
I'd rather play for any team in the NBA except for Utah. I never want to fucking live in Utah.
Yeah.
Like I never wanted to go to Utah. Like it was like every time we went to Utah, it was nobody. I'm talking to the mall, nobody in the mall. I'm talking about like nobody.
And we had to play them twice up there.
I mean, Andre Iguodala was like, "Yeah, we trying to take our time to go to Utah."
Yeah, we was like, we played them in the playoffs. It's like, yo, we rather go play the Clippers, man.
Yeah, it was like we hope they lose, so we wanted to play them in the second round. That's fucked up.
Yeah, that was fucked up. We said that. They treated us well in Utah, man.
You left a championship team in Golden State, and I know like when you left OKC, you took something with you to Golden State. You left Golden State. What are you taking with you from that experience in Golden State that you're gonna kind of implement to the future of moving forward?
I mean, the good thing about the Nets is like, I mean, how Golden State ran an organization every day. Like it was a family organization. Like Eric Hausen, who was the equipment manager, like, no, I don't even want to call him that. Like he did everything for the Warriors, from setting up flights to dinner reservations to getting the equipment. But those type of people there, the framework of the organization, that's what's going to hold your group up. That's what's going to hold the team up. And, like, seeing that every day in OKC, seeing it in Golden State, that's just two different perspectives and, like, and how they handle things. And, like, I'm telling myself I'm going to take that to the Nets. Yeah. And then, like, oh, they already got their shit in order already. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, they already perfect. Like, they got everything that both of these organizations had, too. So, like, even though they're a young and up-and-coming franchise, but more so than anything, it's just experience. Like, a lot of these guys haven't been in the championship round and don't know the focus it takes to get through a series, you know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of guys are young, haven't been in that position. Game 5, you know, when the series tied or being down 0-2. I didn't experience every situation in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? So I can provide some type of experience to the younger guys who haven't been there, along with Kyrie, who's been a champion too. So, you know, that's more so than anything. But once I got into Brooklyn, I had this view on how I wanted to approach this, and I was like, I had to just totally throw that out the door because they got the championship mindset already, I feel.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Out of all the teammates you done played with, if you can pick 4 to create a starting lineup with, who is the other 4 players that you would pick? Out of all your teammates you had and your current roster right now with Brooklyn.
Kyrie, James Harden, myself. Draymond at the 4. I ain't played with no like all-star centers. Yeah. But I'll say,
what's my guy from Toronto?
Serge.
Yeah,
I could put Serge.
Adams. Did you play with Adams?
I played with Steve too.
Steve.
I would put Serge at the 5.
So Kyrie, James Harden, you, Draymond, and Serge.
Yeah, that's the team. Yeah, because we can switch everything on D, and we got all world scorers and facilitators and block shots. We can block shots. Yeah, that's a perfect team.
That's a good lineup.
I know. I wanted to ask you, outside of your shoe, well, your shoe brand, your collection, who you rocking with? Whose shoes you like?
All the Nike guys.
I mean, that's all I'm talking about anyway.
Oh, all right.
I'm
saying I ain't rocking nobody.
No three stripes, no Under Armour, no nothing. This is all under the same umbrella. Jordan brand, Nike.
Yes,
this is what we do. Swoosh.
Yes. Bron new joints fire. I like his new joints. I like
new joints is crazy.
I like his icon joints, like them joint. The pink joints he just dropped.
Okay.
Crazy. His line always dope. Kai's is fire. His next shoe. You see his joint that look like the Yeezy?
Yeah.
It's about to be crazy. I mean, come on, bro. Like PG got some fire. I want to see what Giannis' next shoe look like, but
his first shoe was hard.
The
Coming to America joints.
His whole
crazy.
Theme is fire. He got the Greek guy.
Man.
Like he's killing it.
He hit it out the park for the
Yeah,
first
they
shoe.
doing it.
I'm not mad at him. He got a dope.
You know what?
shoe.
His shoe instantly remind me of just how big the Nike sign and all that stuff was. The old Dennis Rodman.
Back was young.
Like how the Nike sign is not in the same spot or nothing, but as soon as I seen it, it made me think about Dennis Rodman's shoe.
Yep. Different. Like I like everything they doing with Giannis. Like he gonna be a mega star in Nike.
He got next.
Yeah, for sure.
The Boardroom is hosted by one of my favorite college players ever. I'm not a big Duke fan, but I love Jay Will.
Jay Will was that boy.
Hard.
Yeah. He was tough.
I got a year in against him. We played him 1 year at Duke.
He was nice.
Tough. He was tough.
Speak on like the Boardroom, man. I feel like that's it's good for the culture. It's bigger than what people actually think it is.
What made you come up with it?
Hear from it.
Yeah, I think what made me come up with it, well, not just me, like our whole team is like we are really interested in the business side of sports, and what these athletes are doing for themselves and their brands outside the game. So, on the Boardroom, we don't just talk about business. It's culture, it's like, state of current events, is like all that stuff in one. But the brand behind the show is to give people insight on what goes on behind the scenes with, contracts to endorsements to, marketing, everything with these athletes, and, obviously pushing stuff through socials and on ESPN Plus, hopefully is informative content.
Yeah, you seek information, and then one of the shows that is presented out there for you to get the information. Like a lot of these cats were like, we don't know. We was just talking to previous guests, and it was like, man, we weren't structured. Where nobody was telling us how to control the money, what we supposed to do with the money.
Exactly.
And so when we send people in other cultures, like, they not like us. Soon we get some money, we take care of mom, sister, brother, everything. Yeah. But in other cultures, like, nah, you take care of yourself. I don't pay for your family members and stuff like that.
I mean, it's a different. I mean, we grew up different. In our culture, we were surviving for all those years, and then we get some money. We got to take care of all the stuff.
Got to take care of stuff.
And then as you elevate, you start to think about how can you look past just yourself or your kids or their grandkids, like farther than that, and we've been at the time that we're in, that I'm in right now, the league is booming. You know what I'm saying? So they paying us so much on these deals, and it's on us to, take it a little farther than our parents did, and try to create something that's generational. So we're in a great time right now. We can dream to the moon. You know what I'm saying? And they providing us a lot of capital to do so.
NBA just set a rule for tampering, $10 million. Like, what do you think about, like, that rule of the tampering? Because it's like you're going to find another player for talking to another player telling them to come play with you?
Yeah, I mean.
But I know you can't, the owners them can't do it, but it's like, is that tamper?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
They saying they did it because by midnight, too many deals was done already. They saying it was definitely like, how you going, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like at midnight, they announcing them. We ain't starting to negotiate. We announcing the deals right at midnight. So they knew it was already being some deals being made, so that's what they trying to avoid.
I mean, but nowadays, these dudes know exactly what these organizations are about. They got friends in these organizations. They can ask questions so easily. Like, you ain't got to talk to nobody.
It's going to be hard. If I really wanted to just do it, I'm a player X talk to player B.
Yep.
You say this for me.
Yep. And if you need research on the organization, it's so easy to go on YouTube, Google, Instagram. So, you know what I mean? So you can read up and get your info all through the net. So it's pretty, I mean, you're going to see more of those deals being done at midnight, or whenever that time is, but it's going to be hard to kind of police that.
Talk about, like, obviously we know you got to, do major rehab, and that's like at the top of the list of what you're doing this year. But with you being out, what's your plans for this year? Like, as an overall, like, I know you got the boardroom, your 35 ventures. Are you doing anything, taking that opportunity to do stuff with that, or what are you doing with that, this unforeseen free time you gonna have?
That's the first time. I mean, I have basically a whole year if I want it. You know what I'm saying? To kind of just focus on, like you said, rehab first, but. I'm an entrepreneur. I feel like I'm an entrepreneur.
Right.
I started my own company. I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? Producing content. Investing in tech. Just got AU programs back at home. Trying to create jobs for my families back at home. So I feel like I got so much stuff in my head that I want to do as just like a young person in the world. Just like any other human being, but. Having some time off of work and still getting paid is probably different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very blessed when it comes to that. So, and actually being in the greatest city in the world, New York, where you got so many options to get into whatever you want. So, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do, but just knowing that I can think about pretty much anything and I got resources is gonna be cool.
Me and him was talking about this the other day, and we be on the internet, and you see a lot of clips and stuff. We seen OBJ dunking, hitting the home run. Like, how athletic. Have you ever seen anybody?
Nah, nobody like that.
Like OG. You seen that clip we talking about, right?
He says
anything that he
crazy.
can't do. Taking out windmill in between the legs.
I seen him through like an 80-mile-an-hour fastball one time. Like, he could do everything out there. He had ultimate athlete.
Almost the length of the field. Like, he hitting home runs like he Pujols.
Yeah, he can play both. He can do a couple sports. He can do the Dion shit if he wanted to. Like, he can play baseball if he wanted to.
Prime.
Like, he can steal a couple bases. That's for me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
it's
you know what I'm
Black
saying?
Vibes,
We
man.
gotta show our
Gotta take care of
appreciation
our
for
boy.
you
I'm
know,
about to say,
talking
it's
about
my
Easy
second
Money
time.
Snipe coming through,
sir.
rocking with the gang.
Yeah. Finally, I get
got
a
the
gift.
Knuckleheads black box in the building, man. Few goodies. Got the, you know, the little hats, T-shirts, hoodies, and you know that very special.
With
Like
that
that's
logo on the back.
Man, you
Yeah.
can put this one up somewhere, y'all.
Let me get
We
this
got-
though now.
You
So
know what I'm
what?
saying? Go ahead and take that picture with the
Hey.
Knuckleheads, with the Kevin Durant personalized
My OG got
Hennessy.
me right, man.
When you
Very
win that
special.
championship, you gotta pop that.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yes,
You
sir.
know what I'm
When you win
saying?
that championship, you gotta pop that.
Let them know the Knuckleheads.
I'm gonna pop something
touch-
else for the chip if I get there, but this might be. I might pop this when I get out of here.
for the
Appreciate that,
household.
Oh man, thank you for coming, man.
Man, we so appreciate it.
Always
Man,
fun.
So that's a wrap, man. Live on location, NYC. My man Easy Money Snipe. Part dough.
Yes,
Came
sir.
through us, you know what I'm saying? We like family, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He you know what I'm saying? He just stopped through whenever he feel like it. You know, this how, you know, come through, uninvited house guests. He got the open invitation whenever, y'all, man. Check him out. KD, he talking about what's going on this year, man. Talking about a little bit from last year, but a lot about what's about to happen. Check us out.